guys, here today I'm going to do a video that is going to be super helpful to a ton of individuals out there. It's going to save a lot of people a lot of money and could potentially make some people some money, okay? So I hope you really enjoy this video here today. We are talking about USO, okay? And we're just going to call this a thing for right now, okay? It's $2.64 and we're just going to call it a thing. Its ticker symbol is USO, okay? So what I want to do in this video here today, I want to explain to you what this is. So many people have no clue what this is, and there's massive amounts of people investing into USO, and they don't even understand what the heck USO is, okay? So I want to go ahead and explain what it is. We're going to talk about some mistakes that have been made by a lot of individuals out there in this one very recently, and it's one that could definitely trap a lot of people. It's a tricky one, okay? It's not the easiest subject I'm explaining today, let's put it that way, okay? And the third thing we're going to talk about is why I might put $100,000 into USO in the month of May. And I want to explain to you in detail what needs to happen for me to put $100,000 into USO, okay? So I hope you guys really enjoy this. This is a very valuable video. Smash the thumbs up button. The goal today is 7,777 thumbs up, okay? I love the sevens. You know I live in Vegas, okay? Yesterday we didn't hit the goal. We hit 5,300 yesterday. Hey, the past is a past. Today's a new day. I think you guys can hit 7,777. So let's go ahead and start getting into this, okay? So first off, I've heard a lot of people calling USO a stock. They're like, oh, I'm gonna buy USO stock, okay? Let me be very clear. USO is not a stock, okay? USO is not a stock, okay? Chevron Corporation is a stock, okay? A stock is something that essentially represents ownership in a company that has earnings, okay? Company that has revenues and earnings per share and has a balance sheet behind them, and they have employees and they're doing business, okay? That is a stock, okay? When you say, I'm gonna buy some Amazon stock, you're buying basically a part ownership in the Amazon Corporation. That is not USO, okay? USO has no income statement. USO has no balance sheet. USO doesn't have employees or anything like that. That is not USO, and that's not what USO is doing, okay? And let me also tell you what USO isn't. USO is not a perfect price tracker. So some people are thinking they're going to buy into USO kind of like they would buy into an index fund, like a Fidelity 500 index fund, right? Essentially, imagine you believe the market's undervalued. You believe the S&P 500 is going to be much higher in 3 years from now or 5 years from now or 10 years from now than it is today. And you have some money sitting around. You're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to individually stock pick. I'm just going to put my money in an index fund, okay? You put your money in a Fidelity 500 index fund, and essentially, your money's going to go up or down as much as the S&P 500 goes up or down over the course of you holding that, okay? And so a lot of people are jumping in USO thinking this is a perfect price tracker in relation to like oil, and it's not a perfect price tracker, okay? Yesterday, the S&P 500 was up 2.3%, and you know what? The Fidelity 500 was up almost 2.3%. It's perfect, okay? It's almost perfect. USO is not, okay? This is not the spot price. So a lot of people think, well, oil's super low right now. This must be like an investment in the spot price, okay? And it's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as you think oil's really low right now, which I think all of us can come to that conclusion. Oil price is really low right now. It's likely going to go higher. So people think, okay, USO is low. So people think oil price is low. It's going to go higher, and I'll just buy USO and I'm going to make a bunch of money. And that's not how it works, okay? That is not how it works at all, okay? That when it comes to USO, it's not an investment in the spot price. It's not nearly as simple as saying oil prices are going to be much higher in the future. And this has trapped a lot of people. And when I first started looking into this stuff, I thought the same exact thing. I don't usually invest in commodities, but when I saw oil prices going really low, I thought the same exact thing that a lot of people have thought. Hey, maybe USO is the play, okay? Maybe this is a play. And then you go to find out, it's a little more complicated than that, okay? You can do this, once again, with a Fidelity 500. You think the stock market's low? Put your money in something that's an index fund that tracks the S&P 500, and you'll go up, okay? USO is futures contracts. It is futures contracts, meaning it's trying to bank on the price of oil over the next 1 to 2 months in the future, and it buys oil futures contracts. So it's not a perfect price predictor in terms of oil goes up, the thing goes up. So if you think oil is going to go up 20% next month, doesn't mean USO is going up 20%. It could actually mean USO goes down over the course of that time, okay? And I know a lot of you guys are like, say what? What the heck are you talking about? Futures contracts? This is confusing, okay? I understand that. And it should be confusing to most people out there. Unless you're an oil expert or you understand the stock market on a very high level, it should be confusing, okay? So let me start breaking this down as simple as possible, okay? So essentially right now, keep in mind, oil contracts always play for the next month, okay? So you're looking at June contracts now. The May one's already expired. And so when you look at the June contracts, which will expire, I believe it's on the 21st, okay? So when you look at the June contracts, they're trading at about 17 bucks right now. Meanwhile, July contracts are trading at 22. This is really bad for USO. Why is this really bad? Well, the majority of USO's contracts are for the month of June. So they end up having to swap those out for July contracts. And this is where it gets really ugly. $17 is what the June contracts are trading at. 22 bucks is what the July contracts are trading at. So they have to go ahead and roll the 17s into 22 and pay an extra 5 bucks more expensive per contract. That's bad, okay? That's really bad. And the other thing that's also bad is they're starting to buy some even further out contracts, like the next month after that, and meaning essentially they even have some July contracts already, and July is trading at 22. They have to roll those into August contracts that are trading at nearly 25. That's a really, really bad scenario for USO. They're having to roll these contracts over. And this is why USO is such a trap, and people get caught up into this because they think it's just a spot price buy, and it's not. It's future contracts. And so that's a whole bad situation there. This is where we talk about contango. And if you look at all the future months here, they're all in contango, all the way from June, all the way to pretty much June of next year. Every single contract, other than looks like April 2021 as of right now, into May 2021, almost every single month is in contango right now, which is all bad news for USO. It doesn't mean it will stay that way, but it's bad news, okay? Now, good news for USO would be if, let's say, these numbers were swapped around. So let's say the June contracts were trading at 22 and the July contracts were trading at 17. That would actually be really good news for USO. That would be what's called backwardation. And that's a really positive thing because essentially they're going to get a lot more contracts than what they had in the past. Because, I mean, imagine, prices are trading at 22 right now. They probably made a bunch of money on those contracts, especially if they bought at a much lower price. Meanwhile, they get to roll those over into $17 contracts. That would be a really, really positive thing. That would be a phenomenal, phenomenal thing for USO, okay? And this is where so many people I've seen several articles today, so many people are getting caught up into this, okay? Young investors rush into struggling oil ETF that isn't even tracking the price of oil anymore, okay? Traders on Robinhood and SoFi Invest rush to buy United States oil ETF, USO, which crashed this week and has lost roughly 80% of its value this year, okay? USO was the most bought, CMC, it's not a stock. Why are you calling it a stock, man? Come on, bang, come on. USO was the most bought, let's call it thing, on Robinhood, and by far the highest volume trade on SoFi Invest on Tuesday. The ETF saw a 300% increase in ownership month over month, guys. That is extraordinary. That means essentially a lot of people have gotten caught up into this one thinking it's a spot price buy, and it's not. And it's confusing. I understand that, okay? Listen to this craziness. By Wednesday, it was talking about USO, it was among the top 30 most held names on Robinhood. Think about that. Think about all the different, ETFs out there, the ones that track S&P 500. Those would probably be pretty popular, right? Think about super popular stocks like an Amazon or a Netflix or an Apple or a Tesla stock, a Google stock. Think about how many super popular stocks there are out there. And yet USO was among the top 30 mostly held names on Robinhood. That is extraordinary, okay? That's absolutely extraordinary. On SoFi Invest, another trading platform used mostly by traders under 40, USO was, quote, by far the highest volume security on Tuesday and Wednesday. Account ownership of USO has grown by 20% to 30% every day. Every day since April 20th, according to SoFi. Month over month ownership of the ETF has increased 300%. Meanwhile, USO has plunged more than 45% this month and roughly 80% this year. So when it comes to USO, you would think, well, with all those investors buying into USO, you know, it's not like a stock price. If you get a ton of investors to buy into a stock and you have very limited sellers in a stock, what happens? The stock price goes up like crazy, right? All of a sudden, 2x's, 3x's, 4x's stock price. When it comes to something like this, it doesn't move. It can't move. It's not like you can get a bunch of people to buy into this and all of a sudden magically it's going to go up, or a bunch of people sell out and it goes down. That's not how this works at all. It's not like a stock, okay? So essentially what's happening here is a bunch of people are putting in money in something that they didn't even do the research work. They didn't even really look into this. And it's ridiculous, okay? You know, like I said, I'm new to commodities, and I've looked at USO when I was first, you know, starting to kind of think about oil prices. I was like, maybe this is an opportunity. And the more and more I learned about it, the more and more I was like, this isn't an opportunity yet. Very key word is yet. You know, and this is it's just another case of people just like thinking, you know, something is something and they put money in it, and it's just like, why not do the research, man? Why are you going to put your hard-earned dollars behind something that you haven't even done the research work? It's just absolutely ridiculous, okay? So next question is, what needs to happen for me to put $100,000 in USO in the month of May, okay? What needs to happen here? And so a few things need to happen. One is the contango situation needs to go bye-bye, okay? This whole situation that essentially USO is in right now, where these forward-out contracts are trading way above the current month, that's just really bad. That's a super negative thing for USO. And you know, when you have that type of scenario, USO will likely continue to fall because they just have to keep rolling these contracts into more and more expensive things, and that's just a really, really bad situation. So I need contango to go bye-bye, okay? What I would also need to see is I need to see oil continue to rebound, okay? And I'm talking really mostly about the current month oil. If current month oil continues to rebound, it continues to get stronger and stronger and gets to a point where it's like, okay, we're looking pretty good, that could end up causing a backwardation situation, okay? And backwardation is the ultimate situation to kind of see when it comes to something like USO. That's exactly what you want to see. If you want to put a bunch of money in this, like I might end up putting in this in the month of May, I got to see backwardation. If I can see backwardation and it starts getting close to that, you know, then we are talking, okay? Then we are talking. Once again, I want to make this very clear. USO does not move like it's a stock. It's not like if everybody buys into USO, it's going to make the price goes up. It doesn't work like that. It means absolutely nothing, okay? Warren Buffett could buy into USO tomorrow and it's not going to move USO because it doesn't move like that, okay? So it's not like a stock. It's no perception based like a Tesla stock, right? You know, Tesla, people could think it's going to $0. People can think it's going to $10,000 a share, right? And it's all perception based, and you know, in terms of its share price, it's all supply and demand. If very few sellers are out there and there's a ton of buyers, guess where Tesla stock's going? Up and up and up. If the opposite situation happens and there's a ton of people that want to sell out of Tesla stock and there's no buyers, guess where Tesla stock's going? It's going down and down. USO is not like that, okay? It's not like that at all. And I'm going to do you an illustration on the whiteboard in just a moment, but let me just be very clear about this. If I don't get the opportunity, oh well. If I don't get the opportunity to put $100,000 in this in May because there's some backwardation starts and oil prices continue to rebound, oh wow, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's not like I have to put 100K in this, and I'm not going to force the situation. If it doesn't make sense, then it doesn't make sense. Alrighty guys, I just wrote all this out, okay? Here's a situation we need, okay? Or here's a situation I need if I'm gonna go ahead and buy USO, okay? So what we ought to understand is USO mostly owns June contracts for oil as of right now. Now, they don't just own June contracts, they also own some July contracts, but it's a smaller amount. The majority of the money is in June contracts essentially right now, okay, with some being in July. So here's what we need to kind of see over the next couple of weeks for, you know, me to make a big move into USO, okay? I need to see that June contracts end up going well over $20, okay? Going well over $20 within the next 2 weeks. Right now, those contracts are trading in the 16 to 17 range. I really need those to go well over 20 because keep in mind, when they had to swap a lot of those May contracts out for June, you know, oil was, well, as far as the June contracts went, it was trading somewhere in the 20s. So I would need to see the June contracts go well over $20. If I saw that in the next couple weeks, that would make me feel pretty confident that we could could end up potentially getting some backwardation, or essentially at least like the contracts would be worth a lot more than they bought them for, okay? So that's something I really got to see here over the next couple weeks. And, you know, who knows what will happen with that. The good news is it's not like things can be priced in. It's not like a stock where it's like, oh, it's already priced into that, it went up a bunch. It's not how it works with USO, and that's something you're kind of fortunate about. You get to see the details before you even mess with this one, okay? Which is pretty dang cool, okay? Here's what also I need to see, okay? I need July contracts to stay under $28 would be ideal. I don't want July contracts to go up like crazy. If the June contracts go up a bunch, but the July contracts go up a bunch as well, we're still gonna be in a situation, a big contango, where essentially, imagine June contracts go to, let's say the June contracts go to $28. Okay, that means they probably made some good money on the June contracts, depending on what price were bought, which could have been anywhere from 20 to 24, okay? So that would be good as far as that goes, but if they have to swap those contracts out for July contracts, let's say are trading at 38 bucks a share, you know, we're still in a huge contango situation. That would obviously still be a very big negative for something like USO, okay? So ideally, July needs to stay down as well. June needs to bounce back a bunch. July needs to not go too crazy. Let's put it that way, okay? And then we could be in a situation where the economy starts to open back up. And although you guys know my stance on the economy, I don't think it's going to open back up fully and everything's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a ramp that takes at least 1 to 2 years, if not more, toward like 2 to 3 years to ramp the economy up. But the fact that economies could start opening back up potentially around the world over the next couple months is definitely something that's absolutely needed in the oil market, because right now demand is like, you know, on the floor right now for oil, and we need a situation where it at least comes up a bit to a realistic level, and then that could help the back month oil prices. So hopefully they get into a situation where the contracts they bought continue to increase in value. Meanwhile, hopefully the forward months don't go too crazy up and they stay, you know, down to a relative levels. If that can happen, USO is going to be very attractive, and USO could go from a situation where it's 2 something to end up being, you know, $5, $8, $10. But you really need, you know, all this to work out, and we'll see if all this works out. Like I said, it's not like a stock where you have to worry about, oh crap, I got to get in this today because everybody else is going to get in it before me and it's going to push the price up. It's not like that. This is not like a stock. You can see how things are working out and be like, okay, everything's kind of going according to this plan. I can stick money in this. And then if things flip the wrong way and go the wrong way, and you're like, whoa, we're about to go into huge contango again, and these contracts are moving the wrong way in a massive way again, if that ends up being the situation, then you can go ahead and say, you know what, let me go ahead and cut my losses, or let me take my profit and run. You're going to get to see everything, how it works with this. You just have to understand how it works, which a lot of people don't. They think it's just like oil price goes up, you make money. It's not as simple as that. Unfortunately, I wish it was. I wish it was, but it's not. And I hope this video did a really good job explaining USO and what would be an attractive situation for me to personally put, you know, $100,000 in this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Always make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed me kind of going in depth on this one here. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Leave me a comment on what you're doing if you're getting USO.